All right, so let's talk about camera shake. So camera shake is something you get when you're like holding the camera and it's a little bit too heavy and the shutter speed you're using is too slow. So it can look like you've misfocused, but it's actually your focus is right, and it can also look like your model's moved, but the model is staying in the same position. Your focus is right, but what happens is, because the camera is a little bit heavy, or you get a little bit, it's called camera shake. So the way to avoid it, the best way to avoid camera shake is to always use a tripod. But that's not always easy to do. You can often be shooting in locations that are like too cramped for a tripod, or you're traveling and you don't want to have the extra weight of a tripod, or a shot happens just really quickly and you don't have time to be strapping it onto the tripod. So a lot of photographers don't like shooting to a tripod. I think it really helps keep the shot steady. So the way to avoid having camera shake is to make sure that you're shooting on a shutter speed that's fast enough to counter the camera shake. So I'm going to show you, I've got Eric's set up here. I've got my very long lens and all put together, the camera, the lens, the battery, everything in there. This is like quite heavy. So if you're trying to hold this steady for a long time, you are going to get camera shake. It doesn't matter how strong you are, eventually there'll come a point where you just can't hold it steady enough at a slow shutter speed. So I just want to show you, for this shot, I'm shooting at 100 ISO. There's not a lot of light. I want to have my background out of focus, so I'm shooting at f2.8, and my reading is giving me, an ideal reading for this setup is f15. So I'm just going to get Eric just to look a little bit warmer to camera. So I'm locked on, I'm focused on his eye, and I'm shooting at f15. I take a shot, and if I zoom in very close to that shot, you can see exactly what I mean by camera shake. That's camera shake, and it almost looks like I've missed the focus. Now, when I was starting out in photography, I got this all the time, and I didn't realize. I thought it was because my lenses weren't sharp enough, or I wasn't seeing properly to get my shot sharp, but it's actually camera shake. And the way to avoid camera shake is, there's this like simple little formula. No matter what lens you're using, take the highest focal length of that lens. So I've got a 70 to 200 mil lens on my camera at the moment. So the longest focal length is 200. Multiply that by 2, and that's the shutter speed you should be shooting at when you're shooting with that lens. So I'm using a 200 multiplied by 2, that gives me 400. So I should be shooting at 1/400th of a second to avoid camera shake. So let's give that a try. So I'm going to up my shutter speed to 400 of a second. Now that's going to completely change my settings. At 100 ISO, it's not going to give me enough light. So I'm going to have to, I can't change my aperture. I'm going to have to change my ISO, make it higher so that I can shoot at 400. So I'm going to up my ISO to allow me to shoot at that faster shutter speed, to guarantee that I don't get camera shake. And let's have a look now. Same shot, pin sharp, no camera shake.